Today we hit Week 10, and we've got a good one in store between the New Orleans Saints and the Jacksonville Jaguars. The shadow's starting to get a bit longer. Week 10 of the NFL season is here, and we're underway on EA Sports.
Taken at the goal line. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped at the 23-yard line.
Here we go.
Throwing first play is Lance.
And incomplete to open things up.
Anytime he reads man coverage, I don't think it's going to be the only time he'll try and hit that route to the outside in this game. He'll test the perimeter, but that time they were up to the challenge.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. The first carry now. This is Alvin Kamara. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. It'll be a Saints first down on a gain of 16 yards. He was solid last week, over 100 yards in their victory on the ground. They want to get that going again.
Absolutely. What they also understand is that from week to week, it's not necessarily the same, but they want it to be, right? What they saw last week on the ground, they want to see in this game as well.
Lance now on first down.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Shaquille Griffin with a pick.
And the Jags are going to take possession of the football.
It's no secret he's had trouble this year with interceptions, and this is a bad start for him. First drive, throwing another pick.
No matter who's broadcasting his game, that's how the conversation begins. Throwing too many interceptions. Can he take care of the football? If I were his backup, I'd be edging towards the coaches and saying, hey, how about giving me an opportunity?
And he finds a little bit of room, enough for 4 yards. It'll be 2nd down. Well, this defense for the Saints, they put together a strong effort last week in the win over Chicago.
Yeah, and what stood out to me on tape, the way they were flying to the football. So that tells me that they've got all their assignments down, and they're playing with extreme confidence.
And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Now they're going to be dealing with a 3rd and 7. Is that one officially a loss of 1?
On the ready.
So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage.
61, match box, white. 64,
On 3rd down, Lawrence.
Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he is going to lose yardage here. Call it a loss of 2 there on the play. And that's going to make it 4th down.
Excuse my snarkiness here, but isn't the idea of completing a pass supposed to mean you get downfield and gain yards?
Especially on 3rd down.
Yeah, that one. How about the defense? Figured that one out in a big way. Yeah, they completed it all right and lost yardage.
And I don't think this has the carry. It does not. It's no good. And this will remain a scoreless game.
Wow, partner, it's almost a little jarring to see a holder set up on the other side of midfield. I haven't brought out my binoculars to make sure on that one, but that is showing an awful lot of confidence in a kicker to try and hit from 61 yards, and this one winds up no good.
Well, this offense got to be loving this. After the long missed field goal, they'll take over on the other side of the 50, 1st and 10. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Looking for Thomas, but that's intercepted.
Picked off by Tyson Campbell. And the Jaguars will have solid field position here as they take over at their 45-yard line.
Well, and I saw the pressure coming at him. That just looked problematic. Hit him as he threw it, and the interception ensued.
Let me pay homage to the man who stood in this spot before. He always talked about how much pressure is in the face of a guy, and can he step into a throw. And when you can't do that, oftentimes interceptions result.
It'll go down as a gain of 6, and it's 2nd down.
Nice rhythm throw there on first down. He located his tight end, made it a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. Here's a throw to his running back. It's complete. And he's going to be taken down just shy of the 35.
And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
On 2nd and inches, Lawrence. He'll get this out to the flat for Etienne.
And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. The end result, 21 yards.
Just picking up yardage in bunches here these last few plays. They have moved right down the field, and just like that, they're going to be set up for the 1st and goal.
And they'll run with Etienne.
And he'll take this one in for a Jags touchdown.
Travis Etienne, his 7th rushing touchdown of the year. And the Jaguars use the early turnover to get on the board first here in this one.
The point after through the raindrops, up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game.
After the touchdown, Cook now to kick this one away. This fielded right at the goal line. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started.
3-5 is where they sit on the year. A very uneven start is certainly not an ideal position to be in at the halfway point of the season. CD, do you see an avenue where they can still be a playoff team, or is that ship sailed?
Well, since you took me to the nautical side, I'm going to try and keep up here, because to me, this ship is about ready to pull out of port. These next couple of games are absolute must-wins for them. Now, if they can win a couple, get to 5-5, maybe they start believing in themselves. But a loss here, that would move them to 3-6. And if that's the case, well, that boat is going to head out to the harbor with them still on the dock. Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
Ready, set.
Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against? Jumping all the way from the outside, maybe getting a little early start in the corner blitz.
And the only time it makes sense to get that penalty is exactly as you described. Otherwise, he should never get that penalty.
Following the penalty, it's Kamara. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage.
17.
To throw on 2nd and 6.
Lance on the slant, complete to Michael Thomas. And he'll be tackled on the other side of midfield at the 46-yard line.
I don't care who you put on him, he's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now you're right. They're in man-to-man. Maybe needs some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense.
And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. That good for 22 and a first down.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
Let's go.
Staying on the ground on first with Kamara. And he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2, and it brings up 2nd down.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage held their spot, and stacked him up.
On second down, Kamara. And they'll get him down right about the 20. Another 2-yard gain there, but they'll need to do better this time. It's 3rd and 6.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature and make sure you don't get hurt.
After 7-0 on EA Sports.
Here we go.
So it's 3rd and 6, and this will be the 8th play of the drive. On the counter, here's Kamara. And this won't do it. He needed 6. He only got halfway there.
Well, this was just simply excellent defense. On this 3rd down, they had to be alert for the possibility of a pass, but that didn't stop them at all from understanding what was going on when they decided to run the football, and they just swarmed and stuffed them for almost no gain.
So on 4th down, on comes Saints kicker Will Lutz. From the left hash, this from 34. The kick by Lutz is good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3.
So, Charles, they are on the board after that kick. So 3 drives, 3 points. Obviously not the start that you were hoping for, but they're able to erase that 0 off the scoreboard.
Yeah, I guess what you're saying is a point of drive is not what offenses are striving for by any stretch. They're happy they've got 3 now. They hope that that unlocks their offense for bigger points down the road.
Now Jamal Agnew from his end zone. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24.
The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive.
And they, of course, coming into this one in the midst of a tough losing streak. They did get helped out by the open week last week, and in talking with him, all indications were, Charles, that was a very helpful break.
Yeah, I know a lot of teams, coaches, they hate taking time off in the midst of a losing streak because they think they have to stay on their toes and punch their way out of it. But occasionally, you get that open week, you step back, evaluate what's been going wrong, see what you can put in that can move you forward, and maybe you get a chance to breathe a little bit and kind of start over.
And that false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. 2nd down and long.
Looking to throw, Lawrence. Into a sea of defenders and intercepted. And the Saints are going to take possession of the football. And they'll take possession already in the red zone and in a great spot to add points to the scoreboard.
And Brandon, how many times have we seen a defense with a lot of field behind them get even more aggressive, right? They feel like they've got them not pinned down, but in a favorable spot for them. And they took advantage of it there. Got a nice interception and set up their offense in great shape.
And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down. That one will set him back nearly 10 yards here on 1st down on the sack.
But it certainly took too long to set up play action, and that gave the pass rush time to get home for its first sack of the game. For their sake, they may start to think about the quick game and leave play action alone for a little while.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Lance. And his throw is incomplete.
He didn't just deny a big throw there. He broke that one up in the red zone. An excellent play, one that may help save points on the board when this drive is over.
Here we go.
The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. To throw, it's Lance. He's going to let it go deep for the end zone. That is caught by Olave. Touchdown, New Orleans. A great effort there. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Saints have taken the lead. Lutz good on the extra point. And the lead is now 10-7. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. From his end zone, here comes Agnew. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. As the offense comes out here, Charles, maybe perhaps a bit more of a focus on the run game for this drive after tossing an interception on the previous one?
I think that's a good way to look at it and a good way to think about it, but maybe they get to it in a little bit different way because after you throw an interception, you want to make sure you keep your quarterback's confidence high. So maybe give him a couple easy throws that he can complete and then get to the running game and try and get things settled down.
Yeah, and still in the first half here, a long way to go. Steps away. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
Well, he leads the NFL in interceptions. It nearly added to that total.
Got his hand on it, couldn't quite corral it. It's been a Pro Bowl-type season for him, and the term ball hawk really comes into play, doesn't it?
Yeah, I like that one a lot because teams want to avoid that type of a player, but sometimes you just can't. He just knows where the ball is.
Open man there is Malone. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped. A gain there of 21 yards. So in Saints territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 38. And he's taken down here by the Saints. Zach Bourne, the outside linebacker, coming up to drop him for a loss of a full 10 yards.
Now that was a passer's nightmare. The front door totally shut down by the defense, so he kept going backwards, hoping to find another avenue of escape. It didn't exist.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
I know conventional wisdom says, hey, don't get it all back in one play. But sometimes you go ahead and try to. They tried to get it all back on that one, weren't able to do so.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. And they'll send the tight end in motion here. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And that is knocked away in the middle of the field and incomplete.
Well, how about the coverage we just saw him break out on 3rd down? Dime defense, blanketed the field with extra defensive backs and speed, unable to find an open hole to complete that pass.
And Cook now on to punt as he gets this one away. And that hits at the 6 and carries into the end zone for a touchback. The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. They're starting to put some space here. You know, first quarter, they didn't look so hot offensively. This second quarter, though, they've looked really good.
They jumped.
Now Lance throws the interception, his 3rd. Shaquille Griffin with a pick. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown.
Charles, you can just see the frustration on the sideline. Safe to say that's not how they expected this series to go. The ball only went one way, and it was backward into their own end zone, courtesy of the pick six.
And, Brandon, how often do we hear offenses tell us before a game they want to end every series with a kick, right? A punt, a PAT, or a field goal. In the case of a defense, they want to end with a punt or a takeaway. And we saw the takeaway right there, and it turned out to be a takeaway that turned into 6 points.
And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone.
And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down officially at the 21. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. Now remember, they were just out here a moment ago through the pick six, so we'll see if they can take better care of the football this go-around.
Yeah, and sometimes, partner, I think it's almost better that you just throw the pick six and you come right back out on the field. You're not over on the sidelines dwelling for it for very long. You're not hearing everyone say, oh, hey, you'll get them next time. Hey, don't worry about it. All that stuff just goes right out the window. You're right back out on the field with a chance to atone.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Throwing now is Lance. And his throw here is incomplete. So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yes, let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They're giving him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
It's hauled in by Hardy. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down.
Right, 97. Green.
They'll send a receiver in motion left.
On the ball.
They just do get the playoff as he'll look to throw. He goes once again right back to Hardy. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. He was unable to shake free there, and they'll cover him for a loss of a yard.
It looked like the defense, they were ready for that one.
Really left him almost no room to work after catching the ball. He could throw every move in the book at him. They were there, and they tackle him for a loss.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Shaquille Griffin with a pick. And the Jags are going to take possession of the football. Well, this is just crazy. He's got 3 interceptions, Charles, and we haven't even departed the first half of this ballgame.
I think if you're looking at the stats right now, you're saying, all right, who's the leading receiver? Well, can you flip it around and say that maybe he is and could be for the game the way that things are going right now? I think if it's him, he wants to be on the field at all times.
And he will get this into the end zone for a Jaguar touchdown. Travis Etienne with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half.
And the Jaguars are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead.
Seibert on for the PAT. It's good, and it's 21-10.
After the touchdown, Cook now to kick this one away. No run back here, down to a knee, and this drive will start at the 25.
And to shake off the interception from the last drive, he'll look to throw. That is hauled in by Michael Thomas.
Ready. Michael, 3-3.
Throwing on first down is Lance. He'll find his tight end. It's Adam Troutman. Down inside the 10.
A big-time play there for New Orleans. 45 yards. Well, make that now 2 completions for him on this drive, and these aren't ordinary completions. They're big ones.
Yeah, these are the types that make a secondary talk to each other and not in a good way. Oftentimes pointing fingers. Hey, who's got him? Someone cover it. That type of indecision can open up to even more big plays.
After the big play, a chance to finish now on first and goal.
Lance going to sneak it,
and he'll get in. He's over for the touchdown.
The sneak successful from a yard out, and the Saints have got it back to within a score.
Lutz with the extra point, and it's now 21-17. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off.
From his end zone, here comes Agnew. And they'll get him down right around the 25, actually the 26 officially, so a net gain of 1 there.
The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. And now with still more than a minute to go in what's been a tight game, you figure we'll try to see them move the ball downfield.
And remember, they get the kickoff to start the second half, so this is a golden opportunity for them to go down there and put up a couple of 6s. Back-to-back, what a momentum swing that would be.
Yeah, you might be able to get a 2-for-1 without ever even giving up the football. From the 30 on second down, Lawrence. He'll air this one out for Kirk, and that will be incomplete. Trying to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be third down.
There is something to a game plan with trying to keep a defense honest. With a guy with that type of speed, you do so. Send him deep. Try and throw some air under it and hope you connect downfield. On that play, they were unsuccessful.
Here's Lawrence to throw.
Got his man complete over the middle. It's Malone. Now the Jags will use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this first half.
Again, it's Lawrence.
Yeah, he will go out right near the 35-yard line. Able to find a lot of empty space there, picking up the first down at a 21-yard gain.
Ready, set. Hey, Johnson. Yo, faster. Hey, 3-6. Go.
Lawrence.
And a throw right sideline is complete. And down to the 20 he'll go before heading out of bounds. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down.
Hey, Wahoo! Bravo!
Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. And it's caught. And they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone. The Jaguars now will use the last of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 18 seconds to go in the first half. A chance to really cap off a big first half here as they come up on first and goal.
Lawrence going to fire it out wide, complete. Oh, he's brought down. And remember here, no timeouts left. They got to get to the line quick. They'll try to run with ETN.
And he'll take this into the end zone. Touchdown, Jacksonville.
Travis Etienne
on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns.
And the Jaguars would extend their lead here just before halftime.
Extra point by Seibert, up and good. And that pushes the lead up to
11. 4 seconds, all that remain here this first half as the kick gets away. And this is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone.
So we hit the halftime break here in Jacksonville with the Jags on top.
As we send you a couple hours south of here to Orlando, that's where we check in with the coach and our EA Sports halftime report.
Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon.
Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. From his end zone, here comes Agnew. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. As this offense takes the field to begin the opening drive of the second half, Charles, remember that first half, good through the air and really all around an outstanding offensive performance.
Absolutely. They reached the end zone several times. The passing game working awfully well, and most importantly, partner.
Yeah, they went to the tunnel with a lead. They come back out with that lead.
Absolutely. NFL coaches, we know they're perfectionists in a lot of ways, but they had to like what they saw in that first half.
Yeah, he'll fight for a couple as the tackle is made at about the 32.
In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
Third and 2, now Lawrence.
Quick hitter here, it's complete.
And they'll get him down on the other side of midfield.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off. Well, sure looked pretty coming off of his hand, but sometimes you might have to take a little bit off of it. That one looked a little too hot to handle.
Yeah, but off the tip, hey, they still got the catch, right?
It's amazing, isn't it? Even when it goes wrong, it turns out right.
In need of only about the length of the football here on second down. On play action, Lawrence.
And finding the tight end, Hooper.
And they're going to work this down to about the 32-yard line.
Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets, because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2.
Hey, Orbit.
From the gun, it's Lawrence.
Looking middle, and that's complete.
And they're going to get this down inside the 20.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Alontae Taylor. And the Saints are going to have it here at their own 9-yard line.
So it was a drive that had real promise here to begin the third quarter, but ultimately derailed by the INT.
And that was the position you wanted to be in, coming out to start this third quarter, get a nice drive going, looking for the end zone. Possibly got a little bit too greedy right there.
On 1st and 10, here's Lance.
Looking left side and completing it to Thomas. Always got some breathing room. And he'll be taken down, but they've got this one up to the 35-yard line. The extra effort after the catch makes it good for a gain of 26 and also a first down.
And they were backed up to start the drive, but not anymore. Now, that's the play call that the offensive coordinator had in his head. You saw the end result. He wanted to go ahead and push the ball downfield, and that's what they did. And they wound up with good yardage there to get things rolling.
And he'll have it past midfield, almost to the 40 before being taken down. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does. Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or
better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player.
And now off to the races, down the right side. Touchdown, New Orleans. Chris Olave. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Saints have cut it back within a score.
Here we go, here we go. 10 seconds.
Lance going to try to throw for this.
And he's got it. So the try for 2 successful. And with it, they're back within a field goal. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off.
From his end zone, here comes Agnew. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. Pretty important third-quarter drive for them. Momentum has sort of shifted the other direction after that last touchdown as they nurse this small lead.
And they work this well upfield across the 45. The catch and run pays off for 29 yards.
As they began this drive, I was wondering how they were going to attack since they're playing with the lead. Would they continue to try and push the ball downfield? Well, after one play, it appears that the answer is yes.
Lawrence's throw into the hands of Hooper. And they've got this down to about the 12-yard line. And we're pointing out, after that last completion, that puts this young quarterback over 10,000 yards passing for his career. And fair to say, he's not done yet.
No doubt about it. He's really just getting started because he's not quite into the prime of his career. So it's likely he's going to hit a few more of these milestones as this career progresses. So let's face it, we'll acknowledge this number and we'll celebrate the milestones down the road.
And here he'll get it down to the 7. From the 7, it's 2nd and 5. ETN once more. 44 yards for him on the ground now and 3 touchdowns to go along with it.
They're making it look easy out there. Another first down. So far on this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 first downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success.
On 1st and 10, it's ETN. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Jacksonville. It's a 1-yard touchdown run. And the Jaguars will add on to their lead here in the final minute of the 3rd.
Here's Seibert now to add the extra point. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead.
After the touchdown, Cook now to kick this one away. This taken in at the goal line. And he won't quite make it to the 25.
The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. We have seen a lot of points here in this quarter. For us up here in the booth, it's been fun to watch. The defensive coordinators probably scratching their heads.
Yeah, they're going a little bit crazy right now. But let's face it, all of our friends who play fantasy, they're enjoying the heck out of this show because most of them are creating and getting a bunch of points.
Yeah, points certainly not at a premium here.
I'm sure this isn't a novel thought, but maybe run some simpler routes instead of trying to get it all back in one shot. Defense certainly appears to be ready for them. Try and get it back little by little instead of in big chunks.
Now a play fake. Lance.
He's going to take another shot here. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's third down.
Well, they approached this drive with a lot of confidence after their last one ended up as a touchdown. But incompletions on their first two throws has them huddling up and trying to figure out a big play here on third down to get their momentum going again.
Throwing is Lance on third down.
This is Smith with a grab. And he will be taken down, but a big pickup there on what's going to be the final play of the third quarter. 3 quarters in the books. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports.
I'll tell you, far from ideal conditions to play in, but neither offense has had much trouble. Plenty of points to go around. First and 10.
They'll send a receiver in motion to the left.
On first down, Lance.
He's going to let this one go deep. And this is caught inside the 5. Touchdown, New Orleans.
So how about that for an answer? They get the touchdown there, and it's back to a one-score game here in the fourth.
And that's what these guys have done all game long because they've scratched and slashed their way to stay in this game. And by now we should all realize they're not going away. Now the pressure again swings to their defense because they're going to need to find some way to get the ball back.
Lutz good on the extra point. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this fourth quarter.
From his end zone, here comes Agnew. And ultimately, he stopped right where he would have been if he had simply gone down to a knee at the 25.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive.
Their lead back down to 1 score after the touchdown a moment ago. First down's a must on this drive as they start out here first and 10.
A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up, not that time. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
Hey, head up. Hey, box up. Hey.
From the shotgun, Lawrence.
That's caught. It's Malone. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That, I believe, will put him over 100 yards receiving for the game. Yes, it will. And he's got a first down to boot.
Hey, high 7. Hey, Alpha. Hey, exit.
Here's Lawrence.
Flush to his right. And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away, incomplete. Now that'll bring up 2nd down.
But sometimes an incompletion is the right play. And he showed that he's learned from his earlier interception on that throw. Instead of forcing it, he just tossed it away.
I'm ready.
So 2nd down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43.
Recon, 132 fighter.
Now Lawrence.
And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. 23 yards the pickup there.
And these guys certainly are not hiding what their intention is. They're absolutely showing it. They're definitely not going to sit on this lead here in the fourth quarter.
Running out of the gun with ETN. He'll work his way up the middle for a gain of about 4. Second down.
I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge. This has been an up and down, back and forth type of a game, hasn't it? Maybe this long drive could take a little bit of the wind out of their sails, kind of settle things down a little bit.
The Jaguars on third down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1.
They'll run with ETN.
And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1.
77 yards on the ground for him now with 4 touchdown runs tacked on. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the fourth quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
ETN will get it into the end zone for a Jaguar touchdown. And that's certainly an important touchdown there and makes this a 2-score game.
But as we've seen, no lead is safe in this one with the way these two offenses have lit up the scoreboard. I would imagine that on their sidelines, they're both yelling at their defenses, hey, you want to get involved here? One big play from you, that can win the game for us.
And he clanks it off the right upright, and it's no good.
After the touchdown, Cook now to kick this one away. This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29.
The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started.
And you figure after giving up that last touchdown, they trail by 2 scores here in the fourth quarter. This drive becomes very critical.
He's going to float this one deep right side. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down.
Give it big credit for his coverage right there, because when he saw the route break deep, he stayed in position to prevent a completion while avoiding any risk of a flag.
On play action, Lance. He completes it to Olave. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped.
The catch and run going to wind up netting him 33 yards.
Oftentimes now, offenses aren't nearly as precise as days gone by. They just tell receivers, find an open patch of grass and let the quarterback find you. And that's exactly what they did on that play. First with the pass through the air, nice chunk of yardage there, and then additional pickup with his legs after the catch.
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete.
And that's one of those plays where it's hard to keep 2 eyes on the football when you know the contact's coming, let alone getting 2 hands around it, hugging it to your body, and absorbing the hit. Even for those big tight ends who you would think could absorb that contact.
Olave holds it in.
So 3rd down, they need to get to the 28 for a first.
Again, it's Lance.
And this is caught inside the 5. Touchdown, New Orleans. Michael Thomas, 35 yards.
And the Saints have made it a 1-score game again here in the 4th.
Well, you know he can be explosive, and he's ultra-explosive there on the fly route.
And you know how many times we've talked to coaches and we've had quoted back to us, well, you know something? When you execute really well, it doesn't matter if they know it's coming or not. But sometimes athleticism beats you as well. He just took off and went. And that's almost like one of your Turkey Bowl games, isn't it? Just go long, man. I'll hit you. And it worked really well for them.
After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off.
From his end zone, here comes Agnew. And a nice job there on special teams to limit him to inside the 15 as he's dropped at the 14.
You ready?
The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. After the touchdown we just saw, we have a brand new ball game. And now look at the situation. You got plenty of time on the clock. Defensively, they have 3 timeouts. So do you run the football here or do you throw it?
I think you have that full conversation with your offensive unit, and you tell them, here's the situation. They've got all of their timeouts, so we are not going to play this conservatively. We've got to attack them. We've got to make them use those, gain the ground that we need in order to put this game away. If you think we're just going to run it 3 times and punt it, you've got another thing coming.
Yeah, and by the way, also the 2-minute warning in play, so essentially 4 timeouts left.
They have to be aggressive here.
And he is out of bounds, able to get it across the 20-yard line. Nifty job there on the scramble. Got 12 yards, and now it's second down.
Come on, set.
ETN up the middle, and they'll get to him quickly here as he'll get a yard, just a yard to the 22.
Now the objective there, I mean, yes, the positive gain, that's nice, but work some clock.
Yeah, you're exactly right, but the problem for them is still within a possession, so they can't just sit on it running the ball. They'll have to find a way to throw it effectively as well.
This is 3rd and 2, maybe the biggest play in this football game.
And they'll go again with ETN.
And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35.
94 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long.
And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. 2 minutes remain, and that's our score differential as well. 2 points here in the 4th quarter. So it's Jaguar football here as we welcome you back. They've got a 1st and 10 as they look to try and finish this one off. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
On the counter, ETN.
And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. So fresh out of the 2-minute warning, and here's another timeout taken with 1:55 remaining.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
Throwing now, Lawrence.
And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down. So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8.
Back to throw, Lawrence.
And a quick throw here, that's complete. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2. As they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. I hate to surrender the football when you're nursing a slim lead, but they're going to have to punt it away. Trust that defense.
It's the right play at this stage of the game as well. You don't need to press it here because you do have that little bit of a cushion, and you count on your D to make it stand up.
Hey, you. Hey, Johnson. Hey, you sit. Yeah. Go.
4th down. Here's Lawrence. And a dangerous throw there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
The Jags come up empty on 4th down. And the Saints are going to get it back and in great shape. Now a first down carry. It's Kamara. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
At this stage, you've got to hustle. Got to get back to the line of scrimmage because you're saving that timeout to make sure you have a chance to get your kicker out there for the big shot.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
38. Red, yellow. Yellow.
Smith, the man in motion left.
Watch it. 6. Jack right. Real green.
Lance looking to throw.
Looking long for Thomas.
Oh, and that nearly ended it. That should have been intercepted, but he cannot corral it, and that is a lifeline there with 3rd down coming up.
These are the spots, this stage of the game, where it pays to have speed on the perimeter, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and in the second quarter, he may very well have run by him, but in this situation, I know as a defender, I'm loosening up a couple of extra steps that allowed him to run with him stride for stride.
The rain compounding issues here for a possible field goal try. They'd love to obviously get closer, or even pick up the first down if they can. It's 3rd down. Kamara up the middle. And he's got some space here. And so close, he gets it to the 1. Out of bounds right there.
85 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here.
Probably had 60,000 thinking pass right there, including us in the booth.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That was a big call, big guts on that one. And guess what? That run, it'll pay dividends.
And the question now, how do they want to work the clock here on 1st and goal? A field goal would give them the late lead. And here's another kneel down as he'll try to set up the game winner. The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. And just one man in the backfield here. That's Kamara, 2nd and goal. A little unconventional, but another kneel down here as they work towards a field goal try. Now a second timeout called for by the defense. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play. 3rd and goal. They'll try to punch it in with Miller. They push forward, but I don't think it's enough. He's going to be about a yard short. Now the defense will burn their 3rd and final timeout. And as the 2 teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. The kick by Lutz is good. And the sideline celebrates as they have taken the lead in the final minute. All right, so time to reset here. It's a huge kick there, gives them the lead, but they've got to be careful that their celebrations aren't a little too premature.
You're exactly right about that, because there still is time for the other guys to run a few plays and get into field goal position. So this defense is going to need to come up with one final stop if they're going to get out of here with a victory.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And last time, went for it on 4th, didn't get it. See if they can pick themselves up off the mat and do better this go-around.
Sometimes I have this vision of coaches writing notes to themselves before a game. And sometimes that note says, be aggressive, stay aggressive. Maybe that's what we saw in the last possession.
Yeah, they were very aggressive. This time, will it result in points? We'll find out.
And this is dropped. Oh, it's incomplete. He had a big gainer in his sights, but he could not reel it in.
2-minute drills, they're tough enough, pressure-packed enough, and these elements makes it significantly tougher.
And you don't have the margin where you can say, okay, I can allow for certain things and maybe change up a little bit. Because it's a 2-minute situation, you've got to try and make the same plays you would make if the elements didn't exist.
Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well.
Back-to-back incompletions, but we know this is definitely 4-down territory. time not on their side. I don't think they want to try and get the first down in 2 installments. I think they got to go and get it right here, right now.
He'll buy some time right. Now a desperation throw deep downfield.
Partner, they've got one chance left to keep this one going, and I think for you and me, let's think along with their offensive coordinator now. Has to think back, cycle through every play of this contest, and remember what's worked and what hasn't. Because right here, he needs the best play of the game in order to keep this one alive.
Ready, ready. Hey, Charlie. Charlie.
Here we go. Gotta have it. Lawrence.
Wide open receiver complete.
And he is going to have a Jags first down as they manage to convert. And that'll keep the drive alive.
Now he lets it go deep for Kirk. And it's incomplete. So their final drive comes up empty. And with that, the ball game is over.
What a game we were treated to in this one. And on that final play, they had a chance. They had the ball just beyond midfield for one final shot, but couldn't get it done, and they suffered the loss.
Yeah, and you mentioned how they had a chance on that final play, and getting it to midfield gave them that opportunity, hoping they could find their way to the end zone and make that miracle happen. A really good ending to an entertaining contest, though.
So for the Saints, it's an important win for their postseason hopes as they at least get back to 4-5. And they'll head back home next week to take on the Atlanta Falcons. Meanwhile, for the Jaguars,
what I never do. How you supposed to walk with me? I'm 80 steps ahead of you. My mind is on Socrates, all my bars on Rubik's Cube. Every time I do it, I just have to do it beautiful. I can't let this moment